Over the last few years, malicious QR code incidents have spiked by 587%. Cybersecurity systems are currently flagging more than 11,000 of these threats every single day, and the data reveals exactly who is in the crosshairs. C-level executives are targeted 40 times more frequently than the average employee. An executive's digital footprint comes with the highest level of system access. Add in a fast-paced daily workflow that relies heavily on quick, convenient interactions, and you have the perfect mark. Attackers are deliberately skipping the rank-and-file workers, aiming their most sophisticated lures straight for the top of the corporate hierarchy. Modern corporate IT networks are surrounded by expensive digital armor. They deploy advanced email gateways, endpoint security agents, and massive firewalls. If a standard phishing email with a malicious text link tries to get through, these automated systems catch, flag, and block it almost instantly. Yet hackers are successfully extracting data from these multi-million-dollar setups without ever actually breaking the locks. They do it by exploiting the user. By tricking an employee into using a personal, unmonitored device, attackers can quietly open a backdoor right past the corporate filters. A massive wall offers no protection if the intruder never actually tries to climb it. Initially, attackers bypassed text-parsing email scanners by sending standard image-based QR codes. The security software was looking for malicious text, so it couldn't read the pixels. Security vendors eventually adapted, deploying image recognition tools designed to spot the distinct black and white square patterns in incoming messages. To bypass this, attackers developed a new technique, imageless QR codes, built entirely from a native HTML table. Because this malicious code is disguised as raw structural data rather than a picture, the payload slips right past security bots unnoticed. Once that invisible QR code reaches the inbox, the attacker just needs a hook. They format to email as an urgent Microsoft multi-factor authentication alert or a mandatory vendor invoice. This triggers a critical behavioral flaw. The employee instinctively picks up their personal smartphone to scan the code off their secure corporate screen. That specific physical action creates a digital air gap jump. The moment the smartphone camera reads the grid, the attack migrates off the monitored corporate network and lands directly on an unprotected personal device. What happens next depends on the payload. Often, the QR code uses URL shorteners to dynamically cloak the destination, redirecting the victim to a fake credential harvesting site. Attackers also deploy something far more advanced, in-app deep links. These specific URLs bypass standard web browsers, connecting directly to an installed mobile application's backend. Once scanned, they silently trigger commands, authorizing complete account takeovers or initiating cryptocurrency transfers. Another execution method relies on direct APK downloads, serving raw application files directly to the user. Distributing these files directly bypasses the strict security checks of the Apple and Google App Stores. The user thinks they are installing a simple optimization tool or a gambling app, but they are actually downloading malware with full permissions to read files, track locations, and access the camera. The employee's personal phone is now entirely compromised and weaponized against them, all without triggering a single corporate alarm. Defending against these attacks requires a shift in how we view networks. The cybersecurity perimeter is no longer defined by a physical router or a locked-down corporate laptop. The most exposed, vulnerable perimeter available to hackers today is the human user. To protect that perimeter, employees have to stop scanning QR codes blindly. A digital square in an email needs to be treated with the exact same suspicion as a random file attachment. Users need to rely on native smartphone camera features to preview and verify the full URL text before allowing any link to load. If a cyber attack is built entirely around exploiting human convenience, the only reliable way to defeat it is to consciously replace blind trust with verification.